Welcome back, everybody. So, I'll be honest with you, I actually considered doing another executive decision for the gameplay because I haven't unlocked Mechagon yet. And I was like, where's the quest to get to Mech? The reason why I bring that up is because I seem to keep getting chests for Operation Mechagon. Now, the reason I bring that up is because you cannot access or unlock the Flight Master to Mechagon over there. Plus, it also seems to be a different phase. Like, the town there isn't visible when I flew over there. I couldn't see other players around, which I know there usually are. So, you basically are in a different phase when it comes to Mechagon until you do the quest to unlock it. That's how it seems, anyway. And it would just be easier to be able to make sure I have the Flight Master unlocked. And, of course, if I fly over there to do a dungeon with people, I don't want to be stuck in a different phase that makes it kind of difficult. So, I thought about it. However, this is basically this quest line here, the Gathering Storm. This is basically the quest line that happens before 8.2 comes out, where we find out about the meeting that the Horde has where Sylvanas and Nathanos arrest Bane for returning Derek back to Jaina. So, because of that, it actually makes more sense to just go ahead and finish this quest line here, and then that pretty much just leads us right into the Najatar content, so that way I can be able to then just go ahead and unlock Mechagon from there. So I decided to hold off on doing that. We're just going to focus on this quest line here, and I've been putting this off for a while, so let's go ahead and go ahead and do it now. In case you're curious, I am now up to 454. I've also upgraded my Anima of Death to rank 2, and I'm hoping, I'm also almost to 80. And I'm hoping to upgrade this again because of the recent announcement. And it says I actually just have to do a Mythic level 2 or plus, or, plus 2 or higher to get rank 3, which is great. And you know why? Because at the time of this recording, they just announced that, hey, this upcoming Tuesday, you can have your rank 3 essences unlocked for alts, or something similar to that. Obviously, I'm not going to go into the whole details, but basically, people are like, account-wide essences. And that's not entirely true, but you know what I'm talking about. So, Miss Proudmore,
We cannot let the world fall to darkness.
it appears that the Horde activity in Stormsong Valley is more serious than we originally thought. Master Shaw deployed a number of Alliance spies near a base that the Horde have made in Stormsong Valley. When our spies stopped checking in, he took Kelsey Steelspark and went to investigate. Now Master Shaw is the one who hasn't checked in. I need someone to go in and find our missing people and give them whatever help they clearly need. So go meet Kelsey in Stormsong. Okay. Oh, and how convenient. There's a Flight Master right here.
Orders?
All the way up here.
Gale sharp and anchor steady.
So yeah, in case you're curious, this is, at the time I'm recording this, it is Friday. Hold on. Rechecking the date. Friday, March 13th. It's Friday the 13th. No! Anyways. So, yeah. The announcement just happened last night from Ian Hazacostas that on Tuesday they're having that new system where if you have rank 3 essences on your main, that will be unlocked, or your alts will receive a currency to be able to actually just access those. So I would not mind having a shot at actually getting the rank 3 of Anima there, to have it basically available for any of my other characters, especially the ones I play tank on, like Paladin, Death Knight, Druid, Warrior. Not so much Monk. But you guys know what I mean. Also, this is the day that the national state of emergency has been declared here in the United States for the epidemic going on with the coronavirus. Hope all of you stay safe. I think I'll my family and I will be okay, just kind of holding up here in our home, not really going out. I mean, I'm here, in my room making videos on World of Warcraft. I'm not exactly, dying to, no pun intended, I don't mean it that way. Eager, there we go. I'm not exactly eager to go out and socialize in big social areas, like a store or a movie theater or a sports event, which you can't go to now because many of them have been paused or canceled for the time being. So I almost flew in there and then went, oh wait, that's right, I'm Alliance.
New orders?
We knew that someone would come when we missed our check-in. With you as our backup, the Horde isn't going to stand a chance. Shaw's further in the valley, trying to figure out what is going on in Warfang Hold. I've been trying to control the chaos here. Would you care to lend a hand? Master Shaw wanted me to rebuild the listening post that the Horde destroyed when they started to clear this area in preparation for whatever they're planning. I managed to salvage most of the parts for one, but I'm missing a few. Fortunately for us, I've been watching the workers, and they've been picking up the pieces of the destroyed machines. Go get our tech back, and I can take care of the rest. When Shaw and I got here, we discovered most of our operatives were dead. Most, but not all. Go into the field and get any of our operatives out of there. They might have more intel on what the Horde are planning here in Warfang Hold.
I like how the implications that the Alliance immediately suspects that the Horde, they must be planning something. They must be scheming something. When really what's going on the Horde side of things is they're just setting up a meeting for the leaders just so Sylvanas and Athanos can make a public show of calling out Bane and arresting him in front of everyone to basically put them in their place. That's what's really going on here. There's no scheme, like, nah, we're the Horde, we're evil, we're plotting something horrible against the Alliance. That's not what's going on here. But that's what the Alliance thinks is happening. And again, I just find that incredibly amusing, considering how untrue it is. But anyways, okay. So I gotta take down the shredders to get the parts. Okay. Look at that damage. That's why I want to upgrade Anima. Anima does so much damage. Not to mention it also increases my health by a lot. Which I know does make, when you think about it, it does make things a little difficult on on the healer. But that's only if I'm tanking and, in some ways it's like, okay, but I can also understand the concern as well. So, come on. All of you gather up. Let's go. Everybody gather around. Come on.
I can't attack that target.
Hello there. Hey. Come on, get up. The Horde are systematically sweeping the area. Be careful. There's another. Some more. Let's go, guys. Come on. Gather round. Gather round. Gather round. The other day, someone in one of my other, the guild of one of my other characters was talking about like how, he loves Warrior, but he hasn't really given Demon Hunter much of a chance. And so I piped in. I was like, dude, I love Demon Hunter Tank, and I'm not the only one. There are some higher level players I know that are much better than me. They love Demon Hunter Tank. One of my guys, my favorite guys, Preach Gaming, he loves Demon Hunter Tank. He says it reminds him of a Wrath of the Lich King warrior, which he loved back then. One of my favorite, if you want to know what I'm talking about, he made a video. For those of you who are familiar, you'll recognize the series as The Daily Preach. For those of you unfamiliar, it's basically a video series where there will be a day where he's making a video of him doing a keys with pugs. Yeah, The Daily Preach. That's what it's called, or the TDP. And he'll just talk about things, and he'll play certain classes or certain specs. Like, all right, we're going to be doing this spec today, and, yada, yada. And in that video, he was, trying to talk about how he feels about the Demon Hunter tank spec in comparison to others, if he likes it compared to others. And he was talking about how much he enjoys it with the playstyle. He was like, that's what I'm talking about. Give me some speed.
It's too far away.
And the way he said it when he talked about the comparison, he was like, this reminds me of a Wrath of the Lich King warrior. Bro, do I want those days back? And I was like, man, he loved that. And if you watch his legacy video on the legacy of the warrior in WoW, other than vanilla, he thought the best time for a warrior was Wrath, because that's when they added things like Blade Storm, Titan's Grip, various different abilities like that. Like, he considered like Wrath to be like probably the best time for warriors in terms of gameplay, not necessarily in terms of like their dominance, because when if you compare what it was like, vanilla was a strong point for warriors because Blizz designed the game with the warriors being the only legitimate tanks in the game, which was a design flaw on their part, and but it was still a golden era for warriors in that regard. But in terms of sheer gameplay and the amount of extra stuff and fun that they did, Wrath was, he considers, the best time for warriors. So now that video only went up until Cataclysm, but anyways. I'm so excited. I love getting to work with our spy tech. Did you find what we need? Yes, this is precisely what I needed. Our people stumbled onto something really big out here. We've only got one shot at reestablishing our communication network, so we have got to pick the right spot, and I found just the right place. While you've been busy down here, I set up some camouflage and hauled the bulk of the machinery up there. What? What? Did you think I was just sitting here polishing my knives while you were gone? Well, okay, I did that too. Anyway, I'll meet you up the hill. Oh, that Kelsey. She might have a screw or two loose. What?
Reporting for duty.
Once we get the listening post set up again, we won't have the range to reach Borealis, but we'll have plenty of power to get in touch with Master Shaw. Okay, once we get this up and running, we should be able to send messages, in the valley at least. It's gonna be a little bit tricky, but I've read the manual for these things cover to cover. Slaps the top of the device. I'm gonna put this thing back together. You watch out for the Horde.
Ready for action.
Hey! What are you doing up here?
I can't attack that. I need to get closer.
Another shredder? Really? Yeah, whatever. My health bar doesn't move.
New orders?
Ha! I knew I could get this thing up and running in record time. But Master Shaw isn't responding to my signal. Oh, that's no good. Shaw said that he would check in when we got communications back, but he hasn't. He's probably run into the same trouble that the rest of our spies did. I'll stay here and guard the listening post. You find Shaw. He was headed for the cliff above Warfang Hold near the top of the waterfall. The peons called that area the Screaming Pit for some reason. I bet it's a real pleasant place. Stab whatever he's fighting for me, okay?
Alright, Shaw, where are you? Over here? Yep, there's the waterfall. Shaw, where are you? Shaw. Come out, wherever you are. Hello, I hear fighting. Ah. There he is. Hang on, Shaw, I got you. Really, Shaw? Really? That's the best you could come up with? I will say, though, this is definitely a way for him to be able to see, because look at this, you can see the whole area. This is definitely how Alliance players would be able to actually see this meeting and know what happens to Bane.
What needs done?
They've increased security here beyond anything that we expected, and with good reason. Before I was distracted, I was able to find out more about this Horde gathering. Sylvanas has summoned the leaders of the Horde and its allies. For what purpose, I cannot say. We aren't in a position to strike her down. She's too well protected. But perhaps we can learn something that will prove useful in the ongoing war. Keep your head low and take a look. I'll keep an eye out for more guards.
I thought I saw you glance in my direction.
Horde gathering witnessed.
It's Shaw. Matthias Shaw.
There we go.
I have troubling news. It seems there are traitors in our midst. Most of you need fear nothing. But Derek Proudmoore didn't flee to Kul Tiras by himself. He had help, didn't he? Zelling.
Stop! I returned Derek Proudmoore to his family. You raised him as a Forsaken, but you planned to deny him his free will, to violate his mind. I could not stand by and permit such depravity to unfold.
Thank you for your honesty.
Puh!
Banshee! Are we nothing more than pawns in your game? You betray the Horde!
No. He did. And so did you. Take him.
That spit was obviously meant for Sylvanas and Athanos.
For what you are, Sylvanas. You will leave the Horde in ruins.
There is no place for weakness in our ranks. Remember your loyalties.
That was ruthless. Even by the Banshee's standards. She did this to send a message to the rest of the Horde. Dissent will not be tolerated. Report our findings to the Lord Admiral. I'll make my way back on my own.
See, this is one of the reasons why I like Shaw. He's one of the few characters that actually uses his brain and figures out what's really going on. He's not blinded by, you know, just, Horde are evil, blah, blah, blah. They're not alliance, so they're evil, blah, blah, blah. Shaw, he's a level-headed guy. And I like that he uses his eyes and he uses his brain, and he sees what's really going on here. So, now to find out about Jaina's reaction to all this. Now, I obviously know what happens because we've already done this story on the side of the Horde. And right now my Horde character would be down there getting feedback from the rest of the Horde leaders about what they, about what they just saw, about how a number of them are not happy about what just happened. Also, poor Zelling. Now, I imagine a lot of Alliance players had no idea who that was. Why would you? Never at any point does Zelling ever come up in the war campaign or in the story involving, oh, hey, another little portion of the treasure. Thanks, Leo. Don't have your share of the treasure yet, but maybe next week. Hope this holds you over till then. 13 gold. Thanks, Leo. I like that you can just keep coming back every week and he's got some gold. Like, this is not it, but, maybe next week. Here's something to hold you over till then. So.
Every path has a...
But yeah, Alliance players would have absolutely no idea who Zelling was, who that Forsaken that just got murdered by Nathanos was. There's nothing ever to indicate anything about Zelling. The only way you would know who Zelling is if you did the war campaign stuff as Horde, because you see his whole story. When he's a human and he's sick and he's dying, and he's talking with Lillian about becoming a Forsaken, partly so he can try and continue to support his, take care of his family. And things that he did leading up to that was to help provide for, help take care of his family. And I like that Lillian afterwards talked about how she, was going to make sure that his family was going to be all right after that. That Sylvanas wouldn't have, sicked Nathanos out on his family. Now, some of you might go, oh, Sylvanas wouldn't do that. She's not that cruel. To which I say, moving on. At this point, I do not put it past Sylvanas murdering women and children. Especially after what she did to, well, not to who, but just Teldrassil in general. But, yeah. Miss Proudmoore?
A long road lies before us.
Blah, 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 blah. I explained the whole thing. Tell her what happened. I cannot help but pity Bane. Honor such as his has lost its value in the Horde. Sylvanas has made a bold move. We'll go after her, but she's cunning. We need to push back the Naga and gather our forces for a final strike.
Bane showed compassion and honor by returning Derek to us. I fear that choice may cost him his life. For years, I pitied Sylvanas for what Arthas did to her. But nothing remains of the hero she was. Perhaps now the Horde will see that too. To have any hope of ending this war, we must end her.
Quite a bit of truth there from Jaina. Because I agree with her. There's a part of me that did pity her for what happened to Death Knight, what happened to her courtesy of Death Knight Arthas. But yeah. I have said it before, and I will continue to say it, she's beyond redemption at this point. The hero she was is no more. Not after what she did to Teldrassil, and this was yet another example of that. And yes, the Horde does end up seeing that. Yeah. So, just double checking. I don't see any others. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point, yeah, it's to be continued. Basically, that means go to Nazjatar, and then you'll get the next part. So, I know the screen froze. Just give it a second. At 12 on Heroic. Nice. Yes, I have been experimenting, trying out the Raider IO thing. So, but yeah. campaign. More content will be added in the future, aka go to Nazjatar and do this. Because once I do this, then the next portion should unlock, and the access to Mechagon should also unlock. So, yeah. So, when we come back, we will be heading okay, so you know how I did the executive decision of we're going to Nazjatar now, and then, we'll continue later. So now pretend that the next part in the story is when we would send the fleet to go after, the Horde fleet, and then Jara brings us to Nazjatar, and now we're in Nazjatar. Pretend that now happens next. Because then the next video is going to be, and we're in Nazjatar, so stay tuned.